wanted to see what she was going to do. Welcome back.
What is up, y'all? It has been a minute, but y'all don't know that because we haven't missed a week.
This hasn't been a minute for them.
Yeah.
But it has been.
It has been 2 weeks since we filmed a podcast, and y'all, that means that usually we have 2 more in the chamber ready to go, but we've used our 2 backups. So this is like literally recorded the week before you're seeing this for the first time ever.
It is May 13th.
It is May 13th. This will come out on May 19th, next Tuesday. Y'all, that's crazy.
Wild times.
We've never done this before. I'm so sorry. There are reasons why, and we will get into that in this episode, but we've got to recap, y'all, because we've had an eventful past couple of weeks. And so we're going to spare you the boring details because we're afraid that we could go on for a long time if we included every single little bit. But yeah, first thing big that happened since last time we spoke to you guys, which we mentioned on the last podcast, which is insane. I was like, in a few weeks, Oblivion's going to come out. Well, it came out 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
It came out 2 weeks ago, and yeah, what did we do for the Oblivion release day, Atlas?
Well, she got some balloons, got them hung up, some streamers. She got me a little cake. Was it bundt cake?
It was a nothing but cake.
Yes, it's a vanilla one. I really like. It's good stuff.
It was confetti.
Yes,
It had
even
sprinkles
better.
in it. I know.
Even better.
He likes confetti.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true. Did we do anything else?
We celebrated it.
Yeah.
We waited for it to come out. We both posted about it. We got excited about it. I've been bumping Timber the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. It's definitely my favorite on Oblivion, personally, for me.
Yeah, for me too.
It's my second
Followed
favorite song.
closely by Accelerate.
Accelerate works.
That's. Do you want to hear my Oblivion ranking?
Sure.
Okay.
Number 5.
Oh, 5 up to 1? But I just told you my 1 and 2.
Number 1.
Number 1 for me is Timber. For you as well. Accelerate's my number 2. What's your number 2?
Eli.
Okay. My number 3 is Eli.
Number 3 would probably be Accelerate for me.
Okay.
And then Golden Part 2, and then Cauterize.
Same for me. So we just flip Accelerate and
But I mean, I like the whole
Eli.
EP, you know.
I know.
It sounds like I'm saying like I don't like Cauterize. I do like Cauterize.
Yeah, but it's just the least favorite of the ones that we had listed. Yeah.
I think they're all
Agreed.
great songs. I am biased in this way,
Yeah.
but I do love them all.
And they're out, y'all.
They're finally out
So-
with a really good album cover too, which I'm really
Yeah.
happy about.
Go stream Oblivion
By Annex B.
by Annex B.
Annex,
B.
as in boy.
Yeah. We're so excited about that. I tried to be nonchalant and plan Atlas's little... It was a surprise party, but it was just us and the cats. That's all that was.
That's all I need.
And we also were kind of like mad at each other. Weren't we? We were kind of mad at each other. And I went and did all the things. And I made like a little cake topper with the Oblivion album
was
cover.
really cute.
And it had I photoshopped a little party hat on Eli's head. And then I got a candle, a little red candle that had a red flame. And I wrapped it in the Orion flare wrapper, so it looked like a teeny tiny little flare, and put it
I
on
looked
top
closer
of
and
the
it's like,
cake.
is that like a crayon? And she's like, no, it's a flare. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. It looked really good.
Yeah, I liked
I'm
it.
really proud of it.
It was nice.
And then I, on a plate, wrote Happy Oblivion Day with icing.
It was quite
Except
nice.
It was cookie icing, and I tried to put it on the cake, and it just dripped and dripped.
Just drip, drip, drip.
So, if we insert a picture,
That's
it's
why.
not my fault. It looked better until it dripped. So,
It was terrible.
shut up.
I'm kidding. Hey.
tried my hardest.
No, she did great. I'm a big
My
fan.
hardest.
It was really nice. Nice surprise.
Yeah. So that happened on, well, for us, that was Thursday night. So we go into Friday. Right after work on Friday,
Yes.
I worked out. And then this happens daily. And then we got in the car and drove to Houston. Didn't we stop on the way there a couple of times? Yeah,
it was
we
a couple
got Flower
times.
Child.
Yeah.
And we stopped at Costco and at Buc-ee's.
Well, we knew, especially we went to go see Victor and Emily Fadul.
Yes.
Good friends of ours.
Yes.
We were trying to do a podcast with them. Unfortunately, couldn't do that.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we don't have a podcast from, the past 2 weeks, is because we were supposed to do that podcast that week with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were contemplating doing our regular podcast filming on the drive back up to Dallas, but we were exhausted, and also we're about to exert ourselves at an event we're about to talk about. And so we didn't do it then either. And then it just kind of we're like, okay, we're just going to skip this week and go to next week. And then what was it last week that made us not do it?
I mean, we had the Oblivion shoot.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this was this most recent
past
Sunday.
weekend.
We, literally on this past Sunday, we had a 4-hour nap. Woke up at 7.
It was
and
so,
then
so intense.
Yeah, we had every intention to film that podcast that afternoon, but we woke up at 7 and then made dinner, and then we were like, I'm tired, do you want to just go to bed? Let's just do the podcast tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't even break out the camera. I was like,
Nope.
Let's just go.
And then
again.
The next day we were just again.
We tried and then I had a job.
Well, you didn't
Tuesday.
get back until later on Monday.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, it was much later than I thought. It was gonna, I think they're here around 6:30.
And by the time that we were sat down, going to do a podcast, I had written out all of the topics.
Yeah.
We were like,
This is so much.
you want to do this later? And so we said we were going to, and then
And now we're here.
yeah, now we're here. It's Wednesday. We didn't do it on
Nice.
Tuesday because I had grandma dinner. So
Yeah.
yeah, here we are.
But now you're up to date much quicker than you usually are. So,
Yeah.
Yay.
That's why our podcast is being filmed right now.
Yeah.
But
It's on the latter half for the record. But
we were on a timeline to get back to Dallas at a certain time because
my professor Eugene Martin invited me plus other crew to the first showing of his movie that I worked on for a bit.
wasn't that during your UNT years?
No. It
A little bit after.
A little bit after. It was
And then way after.
It was it was technically over the span of a year, but it's not technically a year. It was 3 weeks or 2 weeks each time. It was spring of 23, or no, of 24, and then spring of 25 again. Either way, I worked on his movie as an AC. It was a very, very low-key movie. Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to say about it?
My mama said, she got nothing else to say. Sounds meaner than it is. But also not really. But it was fine. It was we went to the screening, got to see him for the first time in probably over a year at this point. And I got to show him my wife. My wife was there, obviously. He was like, who is this? Oh, this is my wife. He's like, you got married? This, by the way, in front of 40 people. We're walking into the auditorium. I'm like, yeah, this is Liv, to people that I don't know, for the record. And I'm like, this is people that I've known for 2 weeks at a time.
And I'm
you're like, hey, and I'm like, we're just gonna get after, because we interrupted him as he was talking. Unfortunately, we didn't mean to, but it was what it was. And so we got sat down, showed the movies around 66 minutes or something like that.
64.
There it is. She was counting the time, and oh man, I'm not trying to be mean.
Well, only say what you want to say.
Yeah,
Honestly, I doubt anybody would really
that's so fair.
tune into this.
I think if Eugene, if you watch this, know that I love you, and you're one of the coolest people to work with.
And he's taught you a lot.
You've taught me a lot. There's so many things that I love talking with you about. Eugene's one of my favorite people to talk to about movies. A bunch of things that he knows, technical stuff, non-technical stuff. I know that I have a certain way that I like to see movies, and ways that I like stories being sprawled out. There's certain things that I want from a movie, and I didn't really get anything from his movie personally. When we were shooting it, I never got to read the full script because there actually technically wasn't a script, which kind of shows. And I remember on both sections of time of my life where we shot the film, I was like, if this turns out the way that I think it'll turn out, this will be an unfortunate movie. And I was really hoping that I just didn't have the scope. Because I wasn't the director, I was just assistant cameraing. I was maneuvering the camera. And once we saw it, I remember, because you asked me, you were like, what should my expectations be? And I was like, I don't know, keep them low.
Well, you said my high school film.
Yeah, Random Space Force.
No,
or I'll
you
Stay.
said I'll Stay.
Yeah, because I knew it was going to be a dramatic one, so I picked that one.
Yeah, and I was like, oh.
You're like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I didn't like it as much as I like Random Space Force.
I love RSW, I'm not going to lie, personally. I'm biased in that way. My friends wouldn't agree, but I like them. I like the movies.
Yeah, it was, you could tell that it was filmed over a span of a handful of years.
Yeah.
Because every plot line didn't feel...
Connected?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very, very disjointed. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of payoffs or setups. There were setups, but there were not payoffs.
Yeah. There were a lot of good bits of acting throughout.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like weird moments where I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like legitimately probably like 10 moments where I was just like, whoa, that's actually looks so sick. And then it just like, unfortunately, it would go back to what it was doing before. And I was like, oh, man. It's not picking up. Like my boy Bryson Chalk was in it, main character in my movie How to Build a Home. Great guy, great actor. Vincent as well, good friend of mine from UNT. He did a great job. Like so many things where I was just like, this is actually like there are so many elements here that is like really cool. But I've also done that before where it's like I have like good elements of movies of my own, but I know overall as a product, as an audience member, you're like, if I'm not a movie guy, I don't really care.
Yes.
I don't know if I can care. I'm not given a reason to care, which as filmmakers, that's your whole job. If you fail at that, which it kind of sucks.
Well, it felt like the people in the room, because everybody else was actors. Is that right?
It was like 80% other actors, and then there's like maybe like 3 crew.
Okay.
And I know like the other guy that was like on the same row as us was not the audio guy. I think it was just a PA actually, technically from his graduate class. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure there's like another person there.
Okay.
But vast majority were actors. And
yes.
It was vast majority first-time actors on screen. Not first-time actors in general, just on screen.
Yes.
And they were super stoked because they got to be in a movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously they were pleased with it because they were in a movie.
It was them.
Yeah, it was them.
I can tell you from experience, it's really fun to see yourself on screen like that.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool first-time experience for the primary like novelty of it all.
Yeah.
It's also like they didn't... they either weren't paying attention or they have a different opinion than I do. But they had a different opinion than I did.
Yeah.
They were praising that movie left, right, and center.
I was the only person in there that would be just a general audience member.
Oh, yeah.
That would have zero bias.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the people in the movie.
Nothing.
I don't know
It's so different from like if I gave you like an album or a movie.
Yeah.
It's like it's you just going in. It's basically if she bought a ticket to like an indie film at Cinemark and was like, all right, let's see what happens.
Or I was a judge for an indie film festival.
Yeah.
And this
just
is
plopped
just
in.
given
It was
to
like,
me.
this is what it is.
Yeah.
It's actually was really cool because I was kind of sitting there like, I wonder what she thinks. Because I don't like this. It's like, it's not speaking to me. I wonder if it's speaking to her. And I would look over sometimes and I'm like, it's not speaking to her.
I was like...
Because she wears that emotion on her face so intensely.
I've noticed myself making a face and I'd have to fix it.
Yeah. Because we're pretty close. We're near the front rows, and Eugene's not far behind. And so we're just like, I'm like, hey.
But we went to go to Longhorn Steakhouse afterwards to debrief.
Most random restaurant too, by the way.
We got Longhorn Steakhouse last summer when we were in Alabama, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I'd been thinking about it since then, and it was not as good.
Yeah. I think
we went there.
I think to its credit, it's very close to UNT, which it felt like it was very much a college specific aged staff, and it was also next to a Buc-ee's. I think there's a lot of things that could have made this worse or better. I don't know. I could tell you.
I mean, the server was literally trying to rush us out the door the entire time. It was so funny.
We ate probably
a bite.
Probably.
We ate a bite, and he came over. You save room for dessert?
And I was like sitting there and I told him, I was like, give us a few minutes.
And like while you were in the bathroom, he came over to ask if I was ready to order.
And you're like, hey.
I was like, I'm going to wait for him to get back. And he came back and he was like, are you sure you don't? And I'm like,
it was like, bless his heart, not a bad tone, but just rushing.
He just wanted to not leave. He wanted to leave at 10.
Oh, yeah.
And we got there at 9:10.
Yeah.
And I was a server for years. Yeah. There was no way in hell I was going to stay over 10.
Yeah. No. And we
were going to try and get out there as soon as possible.
Even if we had to box it up at 9:50, we'd leave. But we got everything done pretty quick as people.
We were out of there by 9.
40, 45.
40 at the very least.
Yeah. Yeah, we weren't staying too long.
But
we had a drive ahead of us.
Was trying to get us out, and it was annoying.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we debriefed about the movie there, and you got to hear my general audience member. Yeah. Sorry, but that kind of perspective, and then you got to give me the perspective from behind the scenes,
like a filmmaker kind of thing, literally on set, and also just a filmmaker in general.
Yes.
Because it's really hard too. From what I've seen, especially when I look at other friends' films, because the people that I'm friends with that would probably show me their film for critiques usually aren't of a high production value. So there's a lot of things that I know as an audience member, my general audience member voice in my head kind of has to stop talking because I'm just like, bro, they don't got a lot of cash. You just got to give them grace here. Is the story good? And I have found, if the story is good and or entertaining, which hopefully it's both, it's a good film. It's production value is not everything. It does help. There's a lot of things that production value can really support with the story. That's why movies spend millions of dollars, because you're trying to elevate your sense of belief or disbelief, if you will, or try to get rid of that because you're already looking at a screen and assuming that you're not in a theater. You got other distractions. So there's a lot of things that could take you away from the film. That's why people put a lot of money into production. And so with this film specifically, even with that kind of curve of this is an indie film and they don't have a ton of money, I was still sitting there
but you had some money.
But they had some money. Yeah, they had a grant, and I'm pretty sure he'd spent some money on his own. He paid me, and I was just sitting there even with the curve, I'm I think you could have made it just a better movie. Because to me, I was like, this is a script issue. This is not necessarily a production issue or actor issue, even though I did have issues with both. I could tell innately, I usually have a pretty good feeling, and I think you do as well. It's when the story just doesn't work, or at least doesn't work for yourself, because it can work for other people, then you're just no amount of money was going to fix this.
Yeah.
It was a planning thing.
Yeah.
For sure, unless the money was going to go to writing.
Then
maybe.
Then he also mentioned that the coffee shop storyline, which is what all of the actors who were in there, the storyline they were part of, he said that it was mostly improvised.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I could tell.
She's like,
Right.
Correct.
You didn't have to tell me that.
It's that wasn't a fun fact.
But, yeah.
That was a very obvious statement.
And it's you could tell with their dialogue that they were just trying to play off of each other, but weren't exactly sure where to go because they didn't have specific lines. And Anyway,
It's hard.
Yeah.
It was just lack of
Tough.
structure. I think that's the one thing that we both were just like, I really want you to have a point A to point B to point C structure. And it was really more like point A and let's see where the wind takes us.
Yeah.
And sometimes that can work. Most of the time, in my opinion, 99% of the time, that doesn't work. I think Superbad, it's like one of the few times where it's kind of like that, where it's like, it's not really a story, but it also is a story. It's just a lot of things happening and they're just trying to get beer. But at least they got that, you know?
Yeah.
At least there's that objective, and they do get beer. They finally get beer. And of course, but a bunch of things happen too. It sprawls off.
A lot of stuff goes wrong.
A bunch of things happen,
Yeah.
kind of like Hot Rod. Certain moves like that, but it's a comedy. But you can tell that there is a script on some level, if not at the very least an outline of like, this is where we're trying to be, this is where we're trying to go. And even if they found it in the edit, they found it. And this is what I was talking about when I was on set. I was like, I'm pretty sure I just can't see it, unfortunately. I felt like I could see it post-fact. And I was like, man, I wish I was helping you.
Yeah.
Critiquing. And not saying I could on any level save it or do anything better than he did for this film. But I was like, man, I just think bringing people in to be like, hey, story-wise, what do you think? Do you think this works? Beats-wise, doesn't have to be a script. Iron Man didn't have a script. I think that's one of the best films of all time. But you have to have a mindset of like, how does a story work? What beats do you need to hit? Make sure it works. Make sure you keep shooting until you get it right. And hopefully you write it before you do anything else.
Which is a great segue into
Our stuff.
our stuff. We've told y'all on here that we are working on
A movie.
that we're writing a script currently, and you actually finished the edits for the second part of
Yes.
3 parts
But you can read
today.
after this if you'd like.
Yes, I'd love to.
Yeah.
But Atlas
more, baby.
finished writing all of that last week.
Yes.
And something that had stuck with me for a while, because I think we've mentioned this on here, I wrote a very detailed outline.
Very much so.
Where, like, technically, if we
We-
wanted to, it could be the script.
Yeah.
If you tweaked it format-wise a little bit
The
differently.
beats are there for sure.
However, it is in my tone, and a lot of this, I mean, it's all supposed to be in your tone. So basically, all Atlas is doing is taking my thoughts and translating it, and then
Well,
also
yeah.
adding your own things and filtering through.
Well, the great thing about writing
Yeah.
with at least 2 people, then you get a much broader perspective
Yep.
and a more diverse amount of, I don't know,
Yep.
color in the script and in the story, especially in the dialogue, to have 2 people in it, because you're not just sitting there like, this is what Atlas would say for 5 characters versus like, I don't know who's talking right now. Or
It's like,
who's
this is
writing, but I
this
know
is a girl
it's
talking. Maybe
yeah.
I'll leave it a little bit what Olivia
Exactly.
her verbiage
Exactly.
would have been.
Oh yeah, and that's what I do
Yeah.
for a lot of things. And then
Yeah.
on the vice versa with guys, I probably lean towards what I would write.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'd flip it. And even with descriptions, there's just certain things we were able to like bounce off each other. I obviously had the original plot line. We came together, morphed it to a much more solid body
And
of
then
story.
I made it a very
And she was
solid
like, all right, let's
body.
put some trees into this landscape. And I was like, all right, cool, then let's make it a home.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. But, and
let's chop down the trees
Yeah.
and make it
Let's
into wood.
make a cabin. So make something we can live in. You want a tree house? No, we're making a cabin.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that kind of mindset where there's just like a morphing of a real understanding of we're just trying to create the best story we possibly can right now.
Yeah.
And yes, I think there are definitely times, especially on my end, because it's my own original story, originally, by definition. And I know my ego would get bruised sometimes when things would change and things would be added or things would be taken away. And you can to correct me if I'm wrong, but like I believe I got to a certain point where I was like, no, but I still want the best story.
Yeah.
So although I might feel quote unquote hurt, which is on my own end, I'm gonna put that aside because I know that's not your intention. Your intention is to create a great story.
Well, that was mostly at the very beginning, trying
Yes.
to, like, I was pointing out the very obvious plot holes, and you were
yeah.
like,
It's like I know.
but at the same time, it's good that you have me, an empath, and somebody who loves you very dearly.
Oh yeah. Instead of just
who
being
is-
like this sucks.
No, who was there with you because I'm like, no, we're gonna keep all of your elements in it.
Oh yeah. Instead of just
I'm
trying
like,
to make your
don't,
own.
yeah, I'm like, don't worry. There's not a single part of this that's not like going to be excluded. We just got to make
yeah.
it make sense,
Well,
okay?
just morph it because it was very bony when she came in,
Yeah.
and then now it's like a full human
But I
great.
remember a comment that you made to me when you were first referencing the outline. You seemed kind of annoyed because of how wordy it was and
so many
whatever.
words.
You told me, you were like, this sounds more like a book, like a
Well, it's prose writing.
prose, and you're like, that's not what script writing is. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, first of all, I've never written a script. Second of all, I just put a lot of detail in it. Like, what do you want? And you
Yeah.
found that was actually pretty helpful.
It was stupid helpful because
in the writing part of it.
I told her this before because I think you wanted to jump into script writing pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to get done, which is fair.
Yeah.
And I know me personally as a writer, like I write alone, like as in the writing function. I can't have a person around me. I just have to be alone in a room and do the thing. And I told her, I was like, in order for me to do that well, so that I don't lose the plot, literally, I always prefer an outline beat by beat, so I know where I'm going, so that when I'm writing, I don't get lost or discouraged whether or not I can keep writing. Because if I have that outline in front of me, I literally have no excuse except for the fact that I might just physically be tired of writing.
Yeah.
And so with that mindset, we bolstered that outline, and she kind of took it and just made it substantially more detailed.
Yeah.
And when I was writing the script, it was actually very helpful because I could see where she wanted to go. So it kind of felt like you were in the room pretty easily, while you were also not in the room, so that I could be like, all right, I like this. I'm gonna write this, and then we'll come back together and we'll edit together, and be like, all right, does this work? Does this not work? How do we feel about this? Because I always, especially nowadays with this script, I'm writing with the mindset of like, I will write it, pre-edit it, so like the grammar and some dialogue doesn't sound like terrible garbage, and then we'll read it together, or I'll just give it to you, and then we'll come together and be like, hey, so what do you think?
Yeah.
Where are we at? How do we feel about this? And I think that open mindset with this film gives us a much better opportunity to avoid audience members sitting there being like, why is all this happening?
Well, I think me being here has helped weed out the potential offense that you may feel from critiques up front, because I think I weeded out the biggest ones that would have offended you.
Oh, yeah.
And helped give it structure. And at least you have somebody else to lean on because we do plan on in the next couple of months to show the script to people after it's finished and get their critiques. We've mentioned that on here before.
Yeah.
But the whole purpose of having a script is so that it can be picked apart. It's not so that it can be the script. It is so that we have something to go off of. So, but yeah, our biggest thing is we don't want to have a feeling like how we felt after going to that.
Which to me, like I said before, I only mentioned this non-hateful, like, screw you, don't make as good as movies as I do. I'm like, no. Let's be very clear. I came into it with a mindset of, I really want Eugene's film to be great. I don't believe it was great. Everything is subjective, so take it with a grain of salt. However, I also think that it couldn't have taken more than a day to hammer out the outline for that movie to make it 10 times better.
Yeah.
Like a full-blooded 12 hours, not hard. Didn't have to be a script, like I said before. It could just be an outline. But having the beats that you're trying to hit so that you're not trying to find the story in the edit, super important. I've had to do that for films and I hate it. And I've been able to do it, and I've also failed at doing it because I didn't write enough and I didn't shoot enough. And I've found every time that there's never enough planning you can do for a movie. And when you can do enough planning, you usually are pretty successful. And it's that simple. And I think that's what a beautiful thing about a script can do, is that a script, if you do it right, can format it in a way that you can, if you have enough imagination, you can think about the movie and be like, this is what it's going to be, this is how long it's going to feel, and these are the beats that are hitting right now, these are the beats that aren't hitting right now. And you can figure that out. And yes, a movie is written 3 times. It's in the script, it's in the production of it all, it's in filming it, and it's in the post-production, it's in editing it. So you're writing it throughout continuously, technically. But it is so much better to get majority of it right in the writing. Because if you try to do that on the edit, you're just going to be pulling out hairs, and that's why you go over budget almost every time. That's why a lot of films nowadays go over budget, because they aren't trying to write.
Yeah.
They're just really relying on star power and hoping that the story doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunately most movies. Is what it is.
Yeah.
But we're making our movie and really hoping it doesn't suck. And if it does, let us know. So we know what to do for the next one.
Another thing, I've been very passionate about this movie, and I was talking about the plot of it to Cameron.
Oh yeah.
And
her sister.
Yeah, my sister. And
Let me get my water real quick.
when we were on the phone, I was like trying to paint the picture for her, and I could tell it wasn't really like hitting, and I was like, let me read you an excerpt of my outline that I wrote. Because there was one part that I thought just hit, and it was the turning point and desire of basically the whole story.
Yeah.
And I read that part to her, and she was like, Olivia, I'm literally crying right now. You need to write a book. And I was like, what? And
Okay.
but then I started thinking about how you said that it sounded like a book when you were reading the outline. And I was like, I could totally make this a book. And I asked for your blessing to start trying to make it a book. And you said, sure. And so I've started writing a book. And I am about 26 pages in right now, which is so fun. But I realized very quickly that the way that a movie is structured does not work the same as the way a novel should be structured. And there's something so beautiful about a novel that you get to hear all the inside voices that you don't get to see on a movie, at least not well, I've seen. But yeah, I'm very pleased with the direction that it's going currently, and I'm happy about it, and I'm passionate about it, and I think it's fun because you've kind of given me a halt on doing anything on my own for the movie currently, and so
Yeah. It's not
now
done.
I can still be passionate and excited about it in a different form, so that's really cool.
Correct me if I'm wrong, you've had a lot of good opportunities in Annex B to create,
Yes.
especially with the movie, and now that we're at a point where it's more of a lull for you, and we're kind of waiting for me to do the script thing and for the poke throughs, and you've been kind of a little antsy.
Well, yeah. I was going to say...
In a good way for the record, but like, you're just like, I want to do the thing.
My family has always, and friends have always pointed at me and said that I was a very creative, artistic person. And I always thought heavily no when they would say that, because the things that they would reference... Okay, this is a great example though. But I was going to say the things that they would reference, it's not original. I had a picture of Hugo on my phone, and I copied this.
Yeah,
we're looking
at for the audio listeners. I pointed to the canvas of Hugo that's in between us.
Yeah.
On the couch.
Yeah, it's a colored pencil drawing that I did a while ago. But this is a really great example of that. I've always been really good at copying anything to a pretty good T. And I was really good at that with like art in high school. I remember I was really good at art. I got like a blue ribbon at all the art ceremonies and stuff like that. And I always felt like such a fake because I knew that all I was doing was copying a reference photo or two and mixing them together. And it's like, that's not...
Little does she know, that's most of creative art. Take note, guys.
But what I'm trying to say is, like, I never really felt like I was doing anything
I believe what you're... Correct me if I'm wrong. What you're trying to say is you desperately need a spark to light the fire. And you don't create that spark, but once the spark's there, up in a blaze,
take off.
You can do the thing.
For sure. And so it's cool because what I'm getting to do is piggyback off of Atlas's creative idea.
I'm like doing a spark, and you're like, all right. And I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
That's what the story was, real talk.
Yeah.
I was like, here's a sword, and you're like, oh, that's cool. And I'm like, where'd you get that? And you're like, this just made sense. What are you talking?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I'm like, and what if?
And I'm like, like, who's Atticus? You're like, you'll learn about him later.
I was going to say, he's a tool that will help us
He's
later.
a tool that'll help us later.
Yeah. Anyway.
But that's the great thing about us, is that there's a complementariness to it that I don't think could be done if you were the same as me or I the same as you.
Well, if I had my own creative sparks like you do.
It's like we talked about with the Enneagram. It's like you're not a 4 and I'm not a 2.
Well, I was going to say, if I had my own creative sparks like you did, I don't think that they would become what yours is becoming right now, because you wouldn't have the capacity to want to help me.
No, yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean?
Probably not to the great extent that you're helping this project.
Yeah.
In the way that, vice versa.
And the cool thing too is that I don't have any creative endeavors of my own necessarily that I'm like.
You came baggageless. You're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, well, I got 50 projects. Choose one.
Yeah.
And you did.
And when you start making music again, I can help with lyrics.
Yeah.
And I can help with playing the clarinet.
We'll find
Which
a way.
again, unoriginal. I could never improvise. I just have to have sheet music.
Yeah.
Every single. I could go on and on. I really don't think I'm a creative spirit. Anyway.
But we're doing that.
Yeah.
Eugene, I love you so much. Can't wait for the next one. Anyways,
we had a moment this past week. Specifically, was it after Grandma's? We were it was on the drive home from Grandma's. I was making some noises that were annoying Atlas with his misophonia. And it led to a kind of awkward car ride home because I didn't want to talk because I didn't want to keep annoying Kim.
Yeah.
And I knew it was a quiet car. Mm-hmm. And when we got back to the apartment, you just kind of shared some of your heart, your anxiety, your fear, your stress regarding misophonia. And we have spoken about misophonia on here lightly before, but we haven't gone into great depth, I don't think, of what kind of emotional, like, true fears and burdens that you have applying to misophonia. So if you want to talk about them.
Oh, how I love misophonia.
He's like, oh.
How about you give a question instead of just throwing me into the deep end like that?
Yeah, well, what were you going to say? You had something. Y'all didn't see that, but Willow clawed Atlas's hand playfully, but it like actually
That was not
stuck
playful.
in there.
She was like, "Don't touch my butt." I'm like, "Fair, but don't claw me." I was taking my hand away.
Fair, but don't claw me.
She was like, I'm like, mm-mm. Anyways.
Yeah, but with misophonia specifically, something that you were talking about was how the closer you are with somebody.
The more I know somebody, the more I understand them, the more that my brain looks for flaws. Mm-hmm. And misophonia is no different. Mm-hmm. Misophonia is a part of how I analyze the world. Or
the more your brain recognizes continuous flaws and can anticipate them.
Well, that's another way to say it.
Well, because, that's what...
How in the world is that different?
Well, you said that it's looking for more flaws. I'm like, continuous flaws, I think, are the bigger ones.
Sure, we can go with continuous.
Well, okay, the reason that I'm trying to say that specifically is because I did some research on misophonia, and correct me if I'm wrong, but most often it is most painful and annoying for you when it is some sort of sound that you know is being anticipated in some sort of way. Mm-hmm. Whether that's somebody being aware that they're making a sound and they're trying to fix it in some sort of way, or if that's somebody just trying to avoid it, or something that you already know is coming. Mm-hmm. Is that true?
There's this thing called building triggers, which is like, at first it's not nothing, but it's next to nothing, and then as time goes on, which time can either look like an hour or years, as I've found personally with my experience with it, my brain will then like illogically react very negatively to it although the sound was always there and nothing really changed, at least amplitude wise, but time wise and memory wise, it's been building for a little while, which sucks because if you can do the math on that, then that means my family were the worst offenders, and they were. And you might be like, you're blaming them? I'm like, no.
No, which may have been a driving factor in...
It was a driving factor in a lot of things. A lot of things.
In his, pardon my French, bitchiness growing up.
No, yeah. Well, you can call it particularness. It's a weird thing. It's misophonia has not been identified until like the last 20 years, I want to say, 20 or 30 years. It's a new thing. And I'm always just like, with new diseases, especially like nowadays, I'm just like, I always have such a grain of salt with it. But it is so weird. It's not fun for what it is. I won't get too much into it. But I know with Liv specifically, one thing that I had a heavy fear with knowing that building triggers exist, and the more I know a person, the more I look for the continuous triggers, was obviously when you live with a person as close as we do, which is, as in my opinion, as you should, as a husband and wife, those triggers are very likely, if not guaranteed. And
they are guaranteed.
But I remember going into this marriage and really mentally knowing I was taking a risk of hating her by the end of it. And that might be like, oh, like you want to hate her? I'm like, no, obviously not. I don't think anybody gets into a marriage being like, I really can't wait to divorce my wife. It's like, what is that mindset, you know? But I know that was a big thought in my head for a bit, especially towards the beginning of our relationship, our dating relationship, that is. And I think for the first few months, I was like, especially in marriage, that is, I was like, oh, no, we're set, we're good. Like, we got the noise, she knows about it, she's very sensitive to it, I appreciate it, it's a whole thing. And I think as time has gone by, I have wanted to really not think about it. And the thing about misophonia is that when it goes unchecked, it's unchecked, it's like a monster, it grows. And so you have to be careful about that. And it definitely got to a point, especially on that drive, where like it's a dumb thing, but it was like her silently singing, and not silently, but very lowly singing to a song, very chill song. She was doing good singing, I'm not gonna lie. But most of what I was hearing was just like mouth clicks. I think it's technically the actual technical term for it. And I was kind of sitting there like, I'm dying right now. I can't do this. I was like losing my mind to a certain extent, and I was like giving her looks. It was not a good look for me. It makes me feel crazy because I am. And
you're not crazy.
Thanks, Liv. Technically, by definition, I am. But but I remember getting to the end of that drive, and you felt very far away from me. And then I was like, all right, I'm just going to have to be very honest with where I'm at right now. Because I just, if I'm not, you're just going to be very confused. You know? It's like, if you don't communicate your heart, you don't know how to apologize or make do with
or
your people.
understand or anything. Yeah.
There's no way to make amends if you can't understand. And she was very receptive to it. You're very receptive to it. And I just remember, like, and yes, there's been a little bit of a change, but there's also still just that lingering, like, this will get worse. And I don't know what to do about it. And I've never known what to do about it. And it also like gives me, like, even in weirdly in a way, it's like this experience has also given me a way to look back at the memories of my family with a grain of salt, specifically like the day to day. Because usually the only time I'd ever see all of them at once was at the dinner table, which, if you know misophonia, eating sounds are like a no-go, and I didn't like it. I didn't like those times, and so it made me, unfortunately, preemptively not like them over time, and so many things, and more than happy to do like a completely different episode on this, not to take away from this episode, but misophonia is weird. I know I've only personally met and intentionally talked with one other person about it that has it. I know people that know people that have others that have misophonia that I've not met, and I do believe it comes in varying fashions and degrees. And I think and I might be biased in this, but I think I have one of the worser cases. But I do not think I have the worst case, because I also believe it's either two things. By the way, from what my research, it's either autism, which, oof, or OCD, which I really hope is OCD, even though like relatively neither are great. It's more of a personal preference. But it's also like, I have seen people, like when I was in high school, like there would be special needs kids that had headphones on, like noise canceling headphones, because they'd just be overwhelmed by the sound. And I holistically believe, and I could be wrong, I'm not a doctor, but I believe that was a form of misophonia or some hypersensitivity to sound that was substantially worse than I had it, or I have it. And it's
or
like
that they're just not able to
compartmentalize.
yeah
Yeah, exactly.
self-soothe in the way that you've learned how to.
Yeah. So at the spectrum, I'm like, it could be worse and it could be better.
Well,
I don't want to be on the spectrum.
It's like, well, I was gonna say, likely what they're dealing with is a mix of that plus other things,
Plus probably 10 other things that I just don't know.
which makes it really hard to regulate.
I'm on no level saying I know exactly what they're feeling.
Yeah.
But I think on some level I have a little teensy little bit of a perspective of like, I'm so sorry for your loss.
The cool thing too, like of what I've done in like research, has helped. It's helped me understand a lot more. That the best thing I can do is just be. And then also have grace. And that's basically it. And then also I need to have you being the willing party as well, who is willing to figure out how to separate my triggers from me.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which it's tough in the moment when it's...
Oh, you have no idea. You can't know.
Yeah.
You can't know until you know. And then you're like, oh.
Yeah. It's really tough, allegedly, in the moment.
According to a secondary source that I'm very close with.
It's tough in the moment when you're being triggered, to have any sort of, to be able to put at the forefront of your mind, this is this person, this is what they mean to me, this is whatever. And so, yeah, the cool thing is like there are little things that we can do throughout our lives that help with misophonia, like associating eating with things that aren't just sitting there in silence is helpful. So every time that me and Atlas eat, the TV is on, we have sound going, and we sit on opposite sides of the couch.
Oh, yeah.
Never facing each other.
We got our little TV trays, and I am here. and you're there.
I'm over here, and we just eat. And
I scooch.
Yeah, I really do think that is something that can be somewhat helpful, because we do not talk while we eat.
Yeah, that's a big thing that I had to clarify to her too. It's like, eating's already bad. Mm-hmm. Mouth noises are bad. Combine those together. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, it sounds stupid. And it's like, it is kind of stupid, because you're just like, what? Oh, so I have to bend to all this stuff? And here's the thing. And I give myself credit here.
You don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. I give myself credit to this. At the beginning of our dating relationship, and I don't know if we were officially at that point. I don't think we were, because I was like still very scared to make sure that you needed to know this. But I was like, you need to know. I got Missy.
You told me that after we were already dating.
Yeah? Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, if you want to leave now, you can. I was like very clear. I was like,
You're
hey.
like, so I know you're happy to have a boyfriend.
It's like, I'm sure you're in all the fields and everything like that.
I need to give you some disclaimers.
But you gotta know, brain's a little effed up right now.
Well, it was because you brought over pizza and ice cream.
Yes.
To watch a movie.
Yeah, your freschetta pizza and the Tillamook
vanilla bean.
which is great.
Yeah.
Amazing ice cream. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Very high in calories, but very great.
So good. But you brought that over and you were like, I have two things I need to preface.
This relationship, basically.
Before we get into this relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were?
It was misophonia.
Yeah.
and the other thing.
And the other thing.
But
You're not going to mention it?
But it was misophonia that specifically was like,
Yeah.
if you can get through that, then, and by the way, it was like I was like, I knew in my mind,
Well,
I was
you
like,
told me, you were like, so this is what it is.
yeah.
This is what happens. I do have hearing aids. This is what they look like. You don't have to worry about anything. But just know, I will be wearing these, and if I look at you mean sometimes when you're eating, it's not your fault.
Please don't take it personally. Like, I promise you're the last person I want you to feel
you're
bad.
Just trying to eat.
Yeah. It's like, I know logically calories have to come in.
Yeah.
At some point in the day.
Because I think it's a misconception too. It's like, well, you've talked about this too. Like, okay, if eating sounds trigger you, then how the heck do you eat? And you're like, that's a great question. I trigger myself every time that I eat.
It's like, why do you think I have? It's like, why do you think I have headphones on while watching things?
Yeah.
It's not because I want to waste time. Like, I don't like eating. I think that's the weird thing. And it's like, but it's also like a catch-22. It's like, yes, I do have the pleasure of eating, but I also have the pain of misophonia. So it kind of cancels itself out. But the pain is definitely more than the pleasure every time from what I've seen, especially with certain foods. And so I remember this one time I actually tried to, I felt like I was overeating to a certain extent, which at the time, technically, I definitely wasn't. But I was wanting to lose weight. And I was like, you know what? In order for me to lose weight, and so that I don't snack, I'm just gonna make sure that, and I was living with roommates at the time, it was the Carrollton house. I was like, I'm gonna make myself go outside of my room, eat in the common area, and I won't have anything to watch. And I did that for one day. And I didn't eat. And I was like, we can't do this. We have to find another, this is too effective. We will not do, like, I just sat at my computer all day. I was like, I will not do that. Like, my whole body was like, and I'm not saying I couldn't have done that. Like, I've been on camping trips. I can muster the courage. But I was like, no,
Yeah.
I refuse. Yeah, I was totally an iPad kid back then for that reason. And nowadays, I'm like, I still like watching content when I eat. Not that that's like a unique thing, especially in this day and age. But for me specifically,
I love to watch content when I eat.
So it's a pretty good pairing for the record.
You saw me. I do this. I have my routine every day where I will go get my food from the refrigerator at work at noon, and then I'll come upstairs and I'll put on today's episode of Good Mythical Morning, and I'll watch it as I eat.
Yeah. It's actually really cute. I was there today talking with her dad about my own business stuff, and I came over and she was like, oh, hello, and she like paused her little thing as he was like propped up with her phone and AirPods, and she's like, hello, and I'm like, hello. You're watching a little show? And you're like, yes, I am.
I always watch a little show.
Got to watch a little show. I'm like, I like to watch little shows too.
Yeah. I've always been I love to watch something while I eat, which is great because I like that it's not something I'm having to adjust for you.
Oh, yeah. We're very compatible in this way, which is quite nice.
But, yeah, that's kind of... So there's that, and then you were also sharing your fear of kids and their unpredictable sounds.
Which is like, for the first probably, I call it 10 years, like, they're not going to really know. Not that they won't, like, they couldn't know, we couldn't tell them, but it's like, I have no desire for them to be like scared, you know, of like, oh, Dad doesn't like me right now, and I'm just like, I'm sorry.
Well, I've had beats where I was hyper aware of every sound that I was making.
Yes.
Out of fear that it was triggering you, and it was triggering you, but there's nothing I could do about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've told her multiple times, I'm like, if you're gonna eat. Don't try to cover it. Sometimes that actually makes it worse. Like,
that's like especially with like popcorn and like the movie theater.
Popcorn is the worst.
If I try and sit there and eat it quietly, he's like, I can tell.
Like, well, it's the only sound, like, because like there's a frequency spectrum. I found that weirdly, and since because I'm an audio engineer, now I know this. From the frequency spectrum of 2,000 hertz to 6,000 hertz is usually where it lies. It's a transient thing, so it's not just like a tone. But it's also lower stuff too, but usually that's where I'm getting little misophonias yelling at me at that point. And popcorn is usually sitting around that very consistently, almost every time a crunch happens. And I'm just like, oh, why? Why do you do this to me?
Yeah.
But I'm also just sitting there like, as a human, because there's two sides of me that exist with this, where it's like you have the misophonia being like, killer, and it's like the other one that's just sitting there like, what are you talking about right now? Stop talking. Like, you're not a thing. This is fine. But the misophonia is so intense. Where
she just likes a little snack while she was watching
she just likes a little sweet treat. Why are you yelling? And it's like, because it hurts. And so it's like, it's a weird, very consistent, constant loud conversation that happens in my head.
It's like, I just want her to have her sweet treat.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's unfair. It doesn't make sense. It is irrational, illogical, and something that she has been the best person to adapt to, especially for a person that just does not have primary first person experience with this wonderful disease called misophonia. And so I'll say right now, that's one of the main reasons why I married her, because I was like, because to me that was a big reason why I didn't want to date anyone in the first place, because I was like, nobody wants to deal with this. Nobody wants to touch this. I don't know if I would want to touch this. Let's not touch this. And then of course we started dating, and I was like, I was very keenly aware of how she was dealing with my own misophonia triggers and reactions.
And curious and asking questions and not being afraid of it and that kind of thing too. Yeah.
Which, clearly she passed the test.
Well, I think it kind of mirrored like my fear for you finding out that I have been gay.
Oh yeah.
that I am a gay woman.
Which clearly I was like, let's go. I love women too. Big fan. Glad we can relate. But you also like guys too.
But you're not playing me, right?
It's like, but you like me, right?
Yeah. But that was like a conversation I was really nervous to have with him, because I know that that's a big no for a lot of guys, especially Christian guys.
Oh yeah. Well, it's so foreign.
Yes, and we had related in so many other different ways, and I felt so close to you after not knowing you very long, and I was just so nervous when we started getting into that territory of we could be something. And
yeah. And you're just like, well, if we're going to be let's be something for real.
But if we're going to be something, you got to know.
I kissed a girl.
And I was going to say something much more vulgar than that.
I was going with the Katy Perry lyric.
I kissed a girl, and I liked it.
You're like, yeah, same.
I lived with her.
I'm like, oh, I did not do that. Not same. I'm like, you're not doing that still, right? And you're like, no. I'm like, all right. Well, God forgives.
Anyway.
But it was just like, it was such a non-issue to me. Not in like
I felt the same way about your misophonia too.
Yeah. And other things too. It's like, it's not like that was the only gripe for ourselves, but it's like the acceptance of humanity on both ends of being, broken.
Well, it was like,
people.
Instead of it being like, oh gosh, how does this affect me? It was more like, well, yeah, you ought to come with some sort of flaw. I would be surprised if you didn't.
It's like, that tracks. Yeah. You're way too cute for this to be it. It's like, you're telling me you served me food and that's it? Come on.
Yeah.
Best kisses in the world and you got no flaws? I don't agree.
Yeah.
I have the same feeling with like any friends. I'm like, if you don't got a flaw, I don't trust.
Yeah.
It's like those people with like a perma smile and like there's nothing wrong in their life. And I'm like, hey, so I know there's demons in there.
It's like, so your parents are divorced,
it's like,
right?
Clearly you're an orphan, right? It's like you got abused, right? That's what happened here. That's why you're always trying to be smiling and everything like that. That's why you want to. Okay, sorry, too deep. Sorry. Why are you crying right now?
Wow.
What's happening right now? What happened?
Anyway,
why did everybody leave?
So currently, best coping mechanism for misophonia at this given time is sound, though it's getting worse over time, and sound isn't helping as much as it used to, say, a year ago. And so that's a fear that is coming up in Atlas. And I think something that we're going to look into very soon is potentially doing some sort of additional therapy on top of the ears. And potentially, I know you were like, I don't want to do this, but I think it could be helpful trying different sounds.
Sure.
Just to see if it does anything, because they said flipping through different kinds of sounds can be helpful. So, yeah, that's
Gonna
kind
make
of
like a playlist and hit shuffle, and I'm like, ooh, forest noises, let's go. There's like one, just I put just one in like the hour-long thing, just like a caca. And I'm like, oh, it's been 33 minutes. That would be kind of fun. I do. What's funny is that, so I have on my Apple Music app, which is like the main reason why I love it, is that you can upload your own music to it for your own personal library, which you can do with Spotify for the record, but you can also do it with Apple Music. And it's called white noise for my ears. And I got this, like, I don't know, I got this loop online, and I made it loop for 2 hours, basically around 2 hours. And when we're in a movie setting, is usually when I hear it, is like there's like a when it repeats itself, I can hear it when it does that.
There's a slight.
There's like a
different.
That's what happens, and I'm just like, oh, it's been 2 hours.
Yeah.
I feel like a clock, and I'm like, oh, it's been two. What? I feel like a computer at a certain extent. I'm just like, what is this? What is this life that I'm living? It's so strange.
It's funny.
Little unique brain of mine. More particular than I'll ever want it to be.
My boy.
But that's Atlas.
Yeah, that's Atlas. That's misophonia.
Yeah.
I think we should do an episode on that, potentially after you get therapy for it, kind of talking about
Come back and I'm like,
if it helps.
I was abused.
I am better. I've been cured.
It's like, I've been cured. Really? No, they threw sounds at me and I started crying.
I don't think it's exposure therapy.
No. I actually did talk to my ENT about that, and she was like, yeah, they did that for a time, and it was actually just torture. They actually didn't help.
Yeah.
They tried. It's kind of like when doctors did bloodletting, and they're like, we'll try to get the disease out by bleeding you dry, and it didn't work. Or like a lobotomy, and they're like, we're just going to poke something in your brain and see what happens. Science is not always right, but they do try, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So you keep trying. Specifically, Mary Elizabeth, you doctor out there. Come on.
Come on. You've got it.
You figure it out.
You will find the cure.
You will find the cure to something.
Please help him.
Probably not me.
He's your brother.
Because I don't think you're going to be an ENT.
He's your brother.
I think you're going to be like a surgeon. I don't know. If you want to take my ears out, you can.
Make him deaf, maybe?
Up to you. It would solve the problem.
Yeah. We just have to learn sign language.
Okay.
And I could be a translator.
I could make music after that. That'd be unfortunate.
Oh, no.
Next topic.
We saw the Billie Eilish movie in 3D.
3D.
Thoughts?
I thought it was fun.
I thought it was a great concert film. That's one of the best concert films I've seen.
It was really well paced, I'd say. I had a fun time.
They didn't cut out any part of the concert, besides maybe some in-between bits.
Maybe like a few things, but nothing intense.
They did a good job of the cut scenes from before the concert.
Yeah. It was all in 3D, which is weird. It was so sick, honestly.
All of it was in 3D. Even the flashbacks to other shows.
They do. I think some of them weren't. I know some of them weren't, but some of them were. And I know James Cameron has done a method. Like he converted the Titanic movie into 3D when it was not originally shot in 3D.
Yeah.
And so, in more words than this, it's possible to translate 2D into 3D with VFX, which I think is really sick.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they did that for some scenes and some angles. But it was the first time I'd seen a movie in 3D in a while. The last time was probably Avatar 2 for me. And I liked it, actually. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it.
Yeah. The coolest part for me was the very end with the confetti.
Oh, yeah. It was just like...
for a second, I was like, they just released. Because I had seen, for some of the premiere ones, they did do confetti in the theater, at the same time as the movie. And so I'd seen, TikToks of that. Yeah. And so I was like, they just released confetti in our cinema.
For a second, I thought that too, real talk.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait... started doing
and then
the glasses
I was like,
flip.
oh my gosh, wait, it's not real.
It's like, wait, it's 3D.
It was insane. Like I would swear like one just went right past my face,
Oh, 100%.
but it didn't.
It didn't. No, yeah.
It was so crazy.
I feel like such like a
So
new
cool.
timer, like 1920s guy. It's like the train's about to hit me. No, it's just a movie, and it's like, that's crazy. Oh, I gotta see these moving pictures, and they got sound now. I don't know. I felt so old when that happened, and what I'm not shocked about it too, because it was James Cameron directed it, and they're like, well, Billie Eilish directed. I'm like, no, James Cameron directed it. Sorry, I love you, Billie Eilish. You didn't.
Well, it was her vision.
It was her.
I think that was fair for him to say that.
I think it was her concert, so I'm sure on some level it was almost obligatory that.
Well, she did also say like, I'd like a camera angle to be here at a certain point. I'd like to have this kind of camera at a certain point. I'd like this.
I think without James Cameron, it would have sucked. That's what I'm saying. That's
fair.
Yeah, I stand by that. I stand by it.
Something else too.
James Cameron.
We talked about this after the movie. I think it really, to somebody who is not religious, if they went to go watch that movie, that they would probably, if you idolize Billie Eilish, it paints her as like the biggest saint in the entire world. And like puts her on such a big pedestal, and it's like she knows it.
Well, it's like the Swift documentary. Honestly, it's just it's
like Taylor Swift too. Sure.
It's just a butt kissing event. Just like, hey, I know you're not that cool.
And it's
you're probably not terrible, but you're just like, come on.
But it's like so interesting because it's like when we go there, we're like, okay, you're just a person now. Like, it's really cool all that you've done.
Yeah.
But like all these people like crying outside saying that you saved them from killing themselves. It's like, that's not
like
exactly.
It's probably not as specific as you think. They just wanted a good vibe song or a sad song that they wanted to cry to, and then that helped them through it, which is like, hey, fair.
Yeah, and it's so helpful. Like, I could say that about 21 Pilots. Like, for
21 Pilots for you and for me, like Half Alive to a certain extent for me. It's like certain songs and bands that just like in your moments, in those moments, in those times in your playlist, you play those songs and it helps you through it for sure. I also think that 20 years after now, if you were at that same age, you'd have a different band. You'd say the same thing about that band. Mm-hmm. So I think it's really more of a, you like the genre of music and you like the lyrics that they've said. And yes, there are certain specific things that you could attribute to them. And I think there could be grace there. And like, they could be like, well, yes, of course, I really appreciate that I was there to make the music that you listen to that helped you. But also, in those moments, that it was really that person choosing.
Credit me.
Exactly, yeah. It was way more that person choosing to stay than that song saving them. Yeah. In my opinion.
Yeah.
That might be.
And it's like, yes, you associate that moment with that, but that was you. Yeah. That was a moment with you.
Totally.
You know?
Totally.
And so, anyway, it's...
But she didn't save them.
Yeah.
Same way 21 Pilots didn't save us. It's like, it's so many things, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just like, but...
I found, I scrolled back on, because, you know, I'll tag 21 Pilots in whatever story that I do pertaining them. Mm-hmm. But I scrolled up, and there's a DM from, like, 13-year-old Olivia to the 21 Pilots Instagram account. It's like, I know I'm just another one of your many fans, and you're probably not going to see this, but you have to know that you've literally saved my life and so many other people's lives, and you just need to keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. And I thought, like, they're going to read this and, like, feel so good about themselves. It's going to really
get them through the day.
They're going to cry.
Yeah.
And I'm, like, looking back on it, it's like everybody says that.
Oh, yeah. It's like, whenever you see the behind the scenes of any 21 Pilots stuff, you're just like, man, I'm not different. Yeah. I'm not a unique human being, which is fine. You don't have to be a snowflake. Yeah. But holy crap, don't think that you are. Yeah. Because I promise you, you and a million other people are thinking the same thing.
We're all snowflakes.
Yeah, that's how they're successful. That's if you were a snowflake, they couldn't have what they have. They couldn't do a concert for one person, which I think is kind of funny. But really good film. I liked it a lot. I wish that I had 3D at home, honestly, and that things were 3D. Go talk.
Yeah, I will say, I wonder if we went a little bit higher up. There were some parts where the 3D wasn't working quite right.
I feel like we were looking up a little too far. It was
if
too
we were,
angled.
Yeah, more in the center.
Which I didn't realize I chose tickets as close as I did.
Yeah, I didn't realize
I totally
either.
thought it was a little bit farther back. When we went to the row, I was like, really here? All right, I guess we're immersed. Because we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But it did not take me out of the concert completely.
Now we know for next time we do a 3D movie.
Yeah.
Like dead center of the room.
Oh yeah.
Don't go lower. You got to be at least 6 or 7 rows back from the front.
You got to get nice and straightforward for sure. But which is not shocking. It's a very specific niche format.
Yeah.
But very good.
Very good.
I would call it 8 out of 10 for me. Would watch again.
Huh.
Really good.
I think I'd probably be at like an 8.7.
Yeah. It's a good movie. Anything but, and for me.
But an 8's really high for Atlas, y'all.
It's good. It's a very well made film. And if
agree.
if she's as involved as she has been claiming to be into this film, then she did great along with James Cameron.
She did amazing.
Yeah. It's just crazy that she got James Cameron to do it. I don't know how you do that.
I'm still surprised by that.
I would kill for James Cameron to direct a film of mine.
Yeah.
A concert film, that is. But anyways.
My audiobooks.
Yes.
It's the next one. So y'all, I listened to a lot of audiobooks, and it's been a while since we last spoke. So I have 8 or 9 different ones to talk about. Okay, first one. I finished Mockingjay, which is the last of the Hunger Games trilogy. It was my least favorite of the trilogy.
I think that's true for most people. That was true for me, but it was
movies?
But it was it was flip. Well, I read the books as well.
Oh.
So I went from Hunger Games. Like, to me, it was like Hunger Games was the best one, Mockingjay was the worst one, but it wasn't terrible to me. But movies wise, it was like flip, but also Mockingjay Part 1 and 2 were just kind of slugs for me, unfortunately. And so it was like Catching Fire, and then like Mockingjay Part 1 and Hunger Games would fight, and then Mockingjay Part 2 was just like right at the bottom.
Book-wise, my favorite was Catching Fire.
Catching Fire is a move.
And then Hunger Games, and then Mockingjay.
Yeah.
Which is lame because you kind of want it to go out with a bang.
Oh, yeah. You always want the last to be on top, for sure.
I think I said this in our last episode, but I did feel when reading the original Hunger Games trilogy, like, it kind of felt fan fiction like at some parts.
Yeah.
Which is so weird because it's just fiction.
It's
not
based
fan
on
fiction.
nothing.
It's based on nothing. But there were like some parts where it's like you just made that up. You know, and it's like, yeah, they did just make that up.
You are so right.
But I don't know what it is. I have liked, because I also have read since then Songbirds and Snakes, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and Sunrise on the Reaping. And I like those two better than any of the original Hunger Games books.
Which is good. I think that's really awesome.
Well, I think about it too, though. Suzanne Collins is, 10 years older than she was when she wrote the original trilogy?
It's been a while.
So it's like she has probably grown a lot. Writing-wise, like, has had a lot of time to ruminate on where she wanted the story to go with these characters.
She probably listened to fans a little bit when she was hearing about the movies and everything, because she obviously helped produce that.
And I didn't have any part where I was like, this seems very fan fiction-like. Like, it felt so legitimate with both of those books.
Just a little bit more depth than the teen fiction that was Hunger Games, the Hunger Games trilogy.
Yes, and
I'm sure I have not read these books, for the record.
Yeah, but I've really loved it. I've heard consensus online and on Goodreads is that people like Sunrise on the Reaping better than Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I'm flipped. I like Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes better. Don't know why. I will say, with Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I loved the book so much more than the movie. For me, it's not usually that drastic of a difference between the movie and the book.
Yeah.
But I've found out recently that I do really like books a lot more than movies, I think.
Which
because
is not shocking to me.
Yeah. But what I really enjoy is the again, narrative perspective that you get to hear these thoughts and what's actually going on in somebody's mind. Like, I got to know Coriolanus so much better than I did in that movie, because I knew exactly how he felt about everything that was going on, because I'm reading it, versus them just trying to portray his emotions on film and you not getting to see inside his mind at all. And it was all from his perspective. You don't get other, whatever, you find out other things later. And anyway, it was just, I thought it was a really, really great book, and I was very, very pleased with it. And it made a lot more sense to me. The book was way better than the movie in the sense that, it made more sense to me overall. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well,
when I watched the movie the first time, I was like, first of all, this is going on forever.
Yeah.
Second of all, I'm kind of confused.
And what is happening?
There was a lot of parts where I was like, I'm kind of confused. And it's like, if you read the book and then watched the movie, you know exactly everything that's going on, how he's feeling, what's going, all the emotions. But I didn't read the book before I watched the movie, so I was a little bit behind.
Yeah.
But the book did fill in all the gaps for me, and that means that it was a good movie, to me,
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's based off of a book, then whoever read the book should be able to say that they did a good job portraying it. Anyway.
But of course.
Sunrise on the Reaping comes out this November, I believe.
I'm excited.
And I'm excited for that one.
Dope.
It looks really cool.
All the actors, all the
And
cinematography.
McKenna Grace is in it.
Yes.
And she plays a set of twins,
Oh,
Marilee and Maisie.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
And I just read about them.
You were excited. She loves McKenna Grace, big fan.
Yeah, she dies.
Didn't know that.
She's in the Hunger Games and Hamish wins. So duh.
Guess I should know that.
Right?
Catching Fire, they get pulled out of the arena. I don't know. I'm sure that's it.
Well, with Catching Fire, they have a part where they talk about they're watching old Hunger Games clips, Katniss and Peeta, and they watch Hamish's, and it depicts what happens at the end of his whatever, and so it just kind of goes more into that story to get up to that point.
Well,
so
I can imagine that for sure.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
Makes sense for the record.
Anyway, so there's that. I also finished the Narnia series. So I read The Horse and His Boy, Magician's Nephew, in The Last Battle. My favorite of those ones was Magician's Nephew, I believe, followed by The Last Battle. The Last Battle did not, which is the finale, it did not end the way that I thought it was going to end. And it was a very C.S. Lewis way to end the book.
Yeah, she was like, do you want to know the ending? I'm like, definitely not. I actually would like to read it personally.
You'd like to read it?
Well, yeah. We're basing our movie on it. I probably should read it on some level, so.
Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah, but.
I also, I was talking to you about the way that Narnia ended as well, which I didn't go into great detail about it, but I will say the way it ends, to me, gives so much more oomph and solace to the way that we're using it in our movie, which is so cool, and I definitely think that's a God thing, that Narnia just so happened to come up like that. Also, the other day I was in my showroom, and one of our IT guys came to install a new camera that moves and follows you downstairs, and he was messing with the cord, and he was so sorry, this cord goes all the way to Narnia.
And you're like.
And I started thinking, because that is a phrase people use. It's
that's a thing.
Yeah.
It's not.
Where'd you go, Narnia?
So we're if we write this, they're not going to be what is this stupid trope that you're writing down? We're no. It works in the context, promise.
It works.
The culture is working with it.
So there's that. I also read C.S. Lewis's memoir, A Grief Observed, about his wife who passed away.
A Grief Observed.
Yes.
It's a pretty intense title.
Yeah. It was a really, really great book. It was a very short read. But his wife, when they got married, she was terminally ill.
That's so sick.
Yeah, and so he was
pause.
expecting her to die.
Dang, oh wow, ooh.
What?
Sorry, I just said that's so sick.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, CS.
Isn't C.S. Lewis dead?
He's also very dead, for the record,
He's
too.
very dead.
He's in heaven. He's having fun.
Yeah. Hey.
My bad.
Anyway.
Please forgive. I did not mean that.
But that was a really great book, and it was a lot of inspiration for me writing the book about the Zenith book, because I could take a lot of what C.S. Lewis was feeling when his wife passed away and kind of apply that to probably how Meridian was feeling navigating Atticus's loss as well. So that helped spark a lot of ideas there for me as well. Last one, The Alchemist. I finished that one yesterday. So good. So good. I really, really enjoyed that one. Definitely would recommend. After we get done with this, I need to talk to you about the story of that book. But yeah. Besides that, most recently, we're almost done, y'all. We had on Saturday in Ennis, I went down and had Mother's Day brunch at the Avenue.
This is true.
With my mom and my sisters, all four of my, three of my sisters, all four of the Murtha sisters.
All the Murdas.
Yes. And my mom got to speak, and she asked me a couple days beforehand. She was like, we're doing like a panel. And so they had like 3 different stages of moms. They had like a new mom, my mom who's like a seasoned mom but doesn't have grandkids yet, and then like a mom whose kids are all grown up and she's like a grandma now.
Yeah. Which is cool.
Yes, and they kind of went through answering some questions about like their life and like different stages of it and parts of being a mom and that kind of thing. And one of the questions they had to answer was like, what's a hard season you tried to navigate, or like an answered prayer or something like that. My mom wanted to use my story of my season of homosexuality. And I was like, yeah, Mom, absolutely. That's, you know.
Which is like, I think that's sweet for her mom to ask.
Yeah.
Not all parents do.
No. But it was great. And then she
I think they should ask, for the record. I've seen...
She talked so highly of you on that stage, too, to everybody else.
I wasn't there, so I don't know. But
well, she just shared how we met and how sweet you were and how loving you were and how everybody loves you and how we got married. And I went, woo!
That's my husband around there.
I actually did do that.
You did?
She was like, they got married last November. Woo!
Woo! And... That's an inside joke, by the way.
Anyway, we just put it on the screen.
Woo! You could, just if you notate it, I'll put it in.
Okay. I do have it saved to my phone.
Okay, well there you go. Just put it in the folder. It'll be there. We'll just be doing this. Dag For all you non-visual listeners out there, it's a clip.
Yeah, go watch the video.
Anyway,
so I did that, and then I hung out with my mom for a while.
You did.
And then I drove back up to...
I was sad. I was like, where's my girl?
He was missing me.
It's like,
and I drove back up to the colony, even though we were about to come back down to Ennis.
Yeah.
Atlas had been looking for a place to do his Annex B Oblivion acoustic covers for a while now, and we had the date coming up. We were supposed to have them.
Holistically unprepared on my end, totally my fault. I had so much time. We had the date, and I just didn't look for a location until the week before.
Well, you figured, we'll find something.
I was like, I don't need much. I just didn't need a place. Wow, was that hard? Because I legitimately thought we were going to use the showroom, but because of the acoustics in that place and how everything's so reflection-y, I was like, I don't want to chance that. So let's go somewhere else. And that somewhere else took the entire week to find. And then your dad pulled some strings in his church in Ennis, which is where your brunch was. And we were able to use it, which was really sick. And I appreciate you.
So awesome.
Zach, Martha, and Jeff. I don't know your last name. Thank you.
I forget his last name, too.
You're the love of my life.
Jeff.
Jeff. Can I get a Jeff in the chat?
My name's Jeff.
My name is Jeff. Jeff in the chat.
Anyway,
let's go.
But yeah, so we got to use that. But I went up to the colony because I'd had a couple of hours before we needed to drive back down.
Yeah.
But then I got up there. Brooks and McKenna were at our apartment.
Yeah. Shout out Brooks and McKenna.
They came to Dallas to do their to go see the Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
And then they were like, I don't really want to have to drive all the way back to Arkansas after seeing the Dave Matthews Band. And we were like, just stay on a blow mattress in our apartment. They were like, okay, but we probably won't see you in the morning because we have to leave for Mother's Day. And we were like, cool.
We were like, all right.
Here's a key fob. And they were like, okay. And so
it was chill, honestly.
Yeah, so it was chill. Like we saw them for like a beat.
Yeah.
And it was.
We got to talk to them for a few hours though, which was really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they got to go do their thing.
So we got to
thing.
hang out with them. The menu left.
Yeah. Went to go to Ennis again.
Yep. And they left a little after us to go to their concert.
Yeah.
Went back to Ennis. We watched. No, we ran around.
What did we watch?
I watched. No. We ran around the
campus?
Yeah, the campus looking for a room. And I had one in mind and he didn't like it. And then we just kept looking and looking.
I'm a little particular.
Yeah. And then we found a space that was up to standards and we had to move a bunch of tables, but it was okay. It all worked.
It worked. It totally worked.
And yeah, we got what we needed.
And
they looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sneak peek.
Just me screaming. Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's fun. It's fun. It was good. I liked it a lot.
We're excited about those.
Yeah. I'm really pleased with how they're turning out, honestly. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I'm not the best thing in the world, but I got there.
Yeah.
Which I'm really happy about.
I also showed up wearing a jumpsuit with no pockets or anything. And had to run to my parents' house to borrow some jeans and a t-shirt.
We have these wireless transmitters for in-ears, and I gave her her pack, and she was like, where do I put this? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, why did I wear this? And you were like, why did you wear this? And I was like, okay. Have you been thinking that this whole time? And you were like, yes. And I was like, you could have definitely said something before we left.
I was like, you are your own person. Please.
Yeah, but I didn't think about that, did I? I was like, I'm going to look cute when we're recording these.
Yeah, I'm just kind of sitting there like, I don't know what to do. And she were like, what are you guys going to do now? I'm like, we're going to practice. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to go head to my parents, which is 5 minutes away. And like, we didn't even really start practicing until you came back. And I was like, she totally had time. I'm my bad. Because I was making a fit. And I was like, and then she came back and I was like, I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Whatever. You're here. Here's your pack. Let's go.
I was thinking, because I didn't get in my steps on that day, I was like, during all this time that I've been sitting around, I could have been walking.
Oh, 100%.
And I would have gotten all my steps.
That's the worst realization. When having the realization of knowing that you could have done something with the amount of time that you didn't realize was free, the worst. It's like being at the DMV. You're like, I've been here for 10 days. I could have gone home.
My computer.
I could have done so many things.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's never a fun time. But
last thing.
Yeah.
We are currently on the look for a new living situation. Mm-hmm. Our lease here ends at the end of July. Right now, it is the beginning of May. And so we got some time.
It's near mid-May at this point. It's like May, what is it? May.
I'm about to have to tell the apartment complex that we're not going to be living here anymore.
That's May 13th. We're almost at the midpoint. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
It's flying.
So, because of that, we had reached out to Smart City Apartments, which helped me find this apartment to try and look for some more. And I was kind of like weighing out our budget. What?
Sorry.
What?
I'm just thinking about when it stopped recording. Sorry. Don't worry about that part. Anyways.
Okay. But I was thinking, looking at our budget and like what we're willing to spend on an apartment rent-wise from month to month. And it actually is.
I'm also tired now, so now I'm just getting giggly.
Okay.
You got to get through it quick, please.
But it was apples to apples with like house prices, or some of them.
It's
in
so
the area.
stupidly expensive to rent anything now.
Yes, it's so stupidly expensive. But usually apartments are priced as if you were going to split it between multiple people. Houses aren't that way so much.
It's so dumb because they do price it like that, where they're
Yeah.
like, well, you're just gonna have another person there, so it might as well be $2,000 for a 2-bedroom. I'm like, no, I mean, like, no.
So we've been looking at 2 bedrooms, not 2 bedrooms. We've been looking at houses, and we saw one that seemed like a pretty good deal. We went to go tour it, and it was not very impressive in person.
Well, so many things, and like your parents kind of commented on this, but I really, if this is the norm, I'm shocked. The AC was not on, no lights were on. I don't think any power was going through that house at that time. It was dirty. It was like blinds were broken. There was like napkins on the blinds,
Scotch tape to the blinds.
Scotch tape to the blinds, and like it was like we weren't the only people there, which I'm fine with for the record.
There were hangers in all of the closets, and there was laundry detergent, and like
it looked decrepit in a place that's not decrepit, and I was like, am I losing my mind? Right? Are you trying to? And it was like, what was it? What was the price? Like 1,800.
1950.
1950. It was just like, okay, like
it wasn't terrible for 1950. I will say that.
I'm here for it, but
there
I'm
were
also
just
like,
some things that I'm like, if you wanted to show this off to people, there's a heavy lack of effort to make it look really good.
Yeah, you've done
and you clearly
nothing.
don't have people living here right now.
Yeah.
So you could have made it look better, and
It doesn't just get some Febreze and turn on the lights. It legitimately would have elevated that 10 times. Like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if they sell it, then they sell it, and it doesn't matter. But it's like, still, I don't know. I had such judgment on what they did.
Yeah.
For that showing, I was like, what is this? This is so dumb. But like I said before, you're like, because your mom was like, well, like that's like kind of like the norm, and I was like, if that's the norm.
She said, well, if you're looking at the price point you're looking at, you got to lower your bar in the area that you're looking at.
Which we're not looking for, like, the world, for the record. Like, really not. I'm just like...
we're okay for a rundown old house.
We'll take it. Give him $1,500.
It's a house.
I don't care. But, like, just, just clean it up a little bit. You know?
Yeah, just a little bit. Not a lot.
Just a smidge.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a smidge.
But yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, because it's either we do a house, a duplex or townhouse kind of thing, or an apartment.
Yep.
Literally all depends on price to square footage ratio at this point.
Yes, and we've got a bunch of them bookmarked right now, dog-eared, and we're kind of trying to figure it out from there.
How to piecemeal it all together. But
we need to set up tours. Let's try and do that this Saturday. That's all we got, y'all.
That's it. This was Off Scot-Free. I'm Atlas. This is Olivia.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Boop.